All right. So the guys that won't practice today are Cochran, uh, Omar, and Jalen Royals. But Cochran and Omar are doing a good job. They're all doing a good job, but they're probably a little closer than Jalen is. Always a tough day as we go forward through today. We haven't officially done anything, so I can't answer any questions on who's here and who's not. You know, but Veach will get you all that going forward. So you can hold off on those, on the questions of who's making it and who's not making it. But other than that, we look forward to the challenge coming up here to play the Chargers. We know they're a good football team, and it'll be a little different setting being in Brazil, but we look forward to heading south there to Brazil. So, anyways, with that, time's yours.
Without getting into the who's here, who's not here, how do you handle a practice on a day like this when you're practicing right before the deadline?
Yeah, well, you'll see it out there, part of it at least. We go about it. How's that for an answer? We'll have a good one today.
When you went back and watched the film of the preseason game, what stood out about the offensive line as a group?
Yeah, Sam, I thought they did a good job. I thought they against what I think is a pretty solid defensive line, defensive front. I thought they held their own. They blitzed a little bit, so it gave you an idea versus a blitz. They were able to handle that pretty good and going in the right direction in the run game, so on. But I thought they did a pretty nice job after looking at it.
How important of an outing do you find it for Kingsley? Kind of settled in, it seemed like, in that one.
Yeah, I just think the more he's able to, play next to Josh, I think is important. There's got to be communication there, and so Josh is new, and Kingsley knows all this stuff. It's just making sure that his partner, sidekicks, got it, and then Creed inside working with Creed, and Creed making his call. So you're kind of in the middle of those three when you're sitting in that spot, and you got to be able to listen a little bit, and at the same time be able to make your own calls. But I thought he did good. I think the more reps he gets in there, it's the better he'll get.
Just a thought on bringing Derek Nottie back.
Yeah, I think just good inside player, and you can't really have enough of those guys. He knows the system, so getting back in there, I think, is a positive. And Brett, we're always a little heavy on O-line and D-line. I mean, that's normally just to make sure we've got those areas filled. So.
Hey, Andy, I just wondered, it seems like a lot of rookies have been productive for you guys. A lot of that goes back to the front office and scouting and things like that. You've been a lot of places. What do you think makes this place unique when it comes to just scouting guys, figuring out who's going to be on the roster, potentially getting new guys in the building that are going to help you?
Yeah, well, I think Brett's, in my mind, he's the best in the business. I think you ask around the league, and you probably get a lot of yes, that he's really good at what he does. And I think the best thing he does, he communicates with everybody. Not only does he have a good eye for talent, but then he talks to the coaches. He utilizes his staff and trusts them, and you end up with a product there. He has to make that final decision, but it's still he's using people and making sure he covers all the bases that way.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Okay, good. Thank you.
How are you feeling heading into the season opener? How do you feel about the wide receiver group?
Oh man, like I said, we got a really good group. I'm excited just to get the season going. I mean, it's another season, year 2, big year for me.
We got to see the first team offense for a little bit longer than last preseason game. How do you think that went for that group?
I think we came out with like a lot of excitement. I feel like that's just like kind of been the morale of the group. Everybody came out juiced, ready. I feel like we didn't want to come out, so we was having so much fun. But I mean, I feel like that's just kind of like our core right now. Like our Coach Reid says all the time, like let your personality show, and I feel like we're letting that happen.
That 58-yard pass to Tyquan Thornton, I mean, obviously explosive deep down the field play. How much of that is sort of like a preview of what's to come for this offense?
Man, that's something we were doing all camp. That's what we worked on, and that's kind of didn't surprise me. It happened in the game. Tyquan's been catching those all camp, and he's really been showing up. So, I mean, this just shows the work we've been putting in.
How much is having somebody like that, because you're the typically downfield guy, having somebody else who can do that, open things up for you to maybe even do some stuff underneath?
Man, I feel like anybody could do that in the room right now. I mean, Reid could go do that. So, I mean, that just shows like the camaraderie and what we got going on in the room. Everybody could go make a play at any moment, so they have to respect everybody on the field.
Just in general, what can the speed of all you guys maybe mean for what this offense can be in 25?
I feel like it could open a lot of things up. I mean, we got Trav running all the underneath the routes, whatever he needs to run, and we got guys like me, Hollywood, Reid, Tyquan to take the top off. We got the intermediate game. We got just like you have to play the whole field with all of us on the field.
Xavier, we see a lot of social media posts with you and Reid and Hollywood in the same photo. But I don't think you've played a snap on the field together, have you?
Nope.
Nah. But I think we did one.
Maybe one with Jacksonville?
Yeah.
Okay, well, what is that going to mean if you guys all get on the field together and kind of show what you guys can do all together?
I feel like a lot of what you've seen this past weekend, guys just out there having fun, making plays.
Seems like a lot of you guys had a good camp, good preseason. How confident is this team kind of going into the season?
Man, I feel like things didn't end how we wanted to last year, and I feel like guys like Chris said it well in the locker room. Like, how are you going to get better? How are you going to adapt and thrive off the situation? Are you going to come back better? Or are you going to come back still soggy and mad that you lost? So I feel like a lot of guys in the offseason came back with a chip on their shoulder, more conditioned, ready to work.
How much time have you had, or do you have, Xavier, to really learn about Brazil, both from a work standpoint and obviously someone who's perhaps never been there before?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I knew about Brazil from Fast and Furious. Yeah, so I don't really know too much.
Well, what was that like? I mean, is that sort of the first thing that came into your mind when you realized that's the schedule?
Yeah, remember that part when he was like, "We're welcome to Brazil." Yeah. I don't know too much about it though.
Xavier, what stands out the biggest difference if you could backtrack to where you were on this day last year? They're formulating the roster. You'd never played an NFL game. Like, what do you feel differently right now?
I feel like just the aspect of knowing the playbook and knowing what I'm expected to do. So I feel like last year I didn't kind of know like what was going on or how things are going to flow, and I kind of know the flow of things now around here, so it feels a lot more easier.
Kind of related to Jesse's question of it, just when you guys are all on the field together, did you feel things like just opening up differently in the preseason with it's just a collection of you on the field than maybe there was last year?
Yeah, I feel like definitely for sure. I mean, in preseason, I don't know, it's a little bit different from year 2 and year 1. I feel like I was kind of more comfortable, so I feel like I was kind of moving a lot more faster early on. But I feel like it just all kind of clicked, and everybody was working and moving how they were supposed to.
Xavier, what does this day like in the locker room when you have some guys who are kind of waiting to find out if they're going to make the final 53-man roster or if they might be playing elsewhere this season?
I don't know. Everybody that I'm talking to, we still normal self, laughing, joking around. I mean, this is probably like one of the funniest rooms I've been around too. So it's just stayed normal.
Thanks, everybody.
Appreciate y'all.
You know what
I don't know nothing.
Your reaction to it.
Man, it's incredible, man. You know, when I was hurt, I was caught off guard, you know, but, you know, great for them. And, you know, that's a blessing. I mean, anytime you find that type of joy, happiness, and love, I think that's a beautiful thing.
Do your teammates know? Are they aware of it now too?
I just got told 30 seconds ago, so I don't even know if they know. So, but, you know, that's awesome. You know, I'm so happy for them, Trav, Taylor. Like, that's a wonderful, you know, time in life, a wonderful part of their journey. So, you know, that's a beautiful thing to see.
Have you been around her?
Probably like once or twice, you know, New Year's party, you know, a few times at the game, after the game. But, you know, that's a great thing you see, you know, seeing them settle down and, you know, seeing all that happy smiles, happy faces between the two, you know, I feel like it's just an awesome time in life.
You wake up today thinking I'm going to be the one chief player.
When I tell you that was not on my mind and being the first one to talk to you guys about it, that's shocking to me. So,
Do you have any of the Pop-Tarts?
man, listen, them things would get you in trouble because those are like dessert and those are like fire. So if you have one, best believe you're going to want two, maybe three. But she did like, you know, Pop-Tarts for the whole position groups. I think she did like last year. And when I tell you the D-line was all over those, like as soon as we found out it was from her, we was like, yeah, we need about like 4 more boxes of those. And it was about like 12 of them in each.
Speaking of the D-line, Derek Nani coming back. Have you reached out to him? Or, I mean, obviously he's here now.
Yeah, he's here now. I think that's a great thing. You know, blessings for him. I think anytime you can bring a veteran leader like him, you know, a guy who's knowledgeable about the game, but also knowledgeable about the system. You know, he had a lot of success in the system. Previous years he spent the last 7 years here. So I'm happy to see him back. You know, it was a big smile on his face when he got here. So, you know, Nadi hasn't changed and he's still the same guy. And, you know, we're lucky to have him again.
How did you feel about the way the defense played in the first half of that Bears game last week?
I think we knew we had a challenge. You know, our second preseason game wasn't the showing we really wanted to have. It was a nasty taste in our mouth. So that whole week we were emphasis during practice on locking in, you know, coming out aggressive and, you know, showing how, you know, our defense plays, you know, and I feel like that first half was a good little glimpse. You know, I'm excited for some more action coming up and, you know, getting out there and balling with them guys. But, you know, that was definitely a response to our second preseason game. And that's how we want every game to be, man. We want to set a tone from the jump and, you know, that's how we execute.
Anything else?
Mike, what are you going to get for a wedding gift?
Oh, wow. Well, what they want, I don't know if I could, you know, bring forth, but I think of a good little engagement gift. It might be, you know, something special for them. Maybe some Pop-Tarts back to her, but it won't be homemade. It might just be the box, yeah.
Mike, we asked Xavier Worthy what he knows about Brazil.
What was that?
We asked Xavier Worthy what he knows about Brazil. What do you know about Brazil?
I don't know too much about Brazil. I'm excited to go. It's my first time, you know, going out to Brazil. So I've always heard, you know, crazy things or how, you know, life is different over there, daily life, but also just playing in that whole atmosphere. I know we did the whole international game like 2 years ago, and I thought that was a great experience. So I'm looking forward to this one.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you guys. Take care.